All right, let's go ahead and talk about grouping symbols. If you already have your notebook set up, that's awesome. I'm on page 5. If you don't, just take notes on a piece of scrap paper for now. It won't kill you to have a couple pages of notes somewhere else, and we'll just figure it out later, right? I definitely want you to go ahead and start this. Okay, so there's 3 kinds of grouping symbols that we need to be aware of in math. The first is parentheses. This is the one you're probably most used to, right? And if you've learned PEMDAS, or the order of operations, we've talked about parentheses, right? But the thing is, parentheses are the most common, but there's actually 2 others. So parentheses look like this. Like if a grouping symbol groups 2 or more things together. So for example, these parentheses say that this 5 minus 3 is grouped together, right? So, which means I'm going to do it first, okay? The other thing that's sometimes used are brackets. And those behave exactly like parentheses. It's literally the same. Look, I'm even going to use the same example. And why do we have 2 different types? Well, sometimes in a problem, we'll have 2 grouping symbols. And if we make them all look the same, it gets confusing. So we have parentheses and brackets. They're exactly the same. They just look different, right? This one's like round. This one's sort of boxy. And then the last grouping symbol is the fraction bar. Okay, so here, like this, inside the parentheses, that's a group of numbers. Here, inside the brackets, that's a group of numbers. In the fraction bar, looks like this. Let's say I have something like this. 12 plus 4 over 15 minus 7. This top of the fraction, that is a group of numbers. Okay, so you can consider that being on the top of a fraction or the bottom of a fraction is almost like being in parentheses, right? So when I go to simplify this, I will do this group of numbers on the top and this group of numbers on the bottom first. Okay, so these are the 3 types of grouping symbols. And now, why do we care? Well, grouping symbols mean that we simplify what's inside the grouping symbols first. So for example, here, 5 minus 3 is 2. So notice we did that first, okay? And I'm just going to bring down this 6. Okay, now remember, if I have a number with parentheses like this next to a number, this means multiply. Okay, so this means 6 times 2, which is 12. And of course, the brackets is the same, right? This is 6. 5 minus 3, right? We do what's inside the grouping symbol first is 2. Again, this is 12. Okay, this also means multiply. Now with a fraction bar, right, we do inside the groups first. So this top is a group. So 12 plus 4, that's 16. And this bottom is a group. 15 minus 7, that's 8. So notice I simplified the groups first. Now I do have another operation here. I have 16 over 8. What does this fraction bar mean? What am I doing with 16 and 8? Am I adding them? What is it? No, it's division, okay? A fraction bar always means division. So I'm going to write, I'm going to divide here. Okay, this means divide, right? When I had 2 numbers like this with the parentheses, that meant multiply. This means divide. So 16 divided by 8 is 2, okay? So that's what you need to know about grouping symbols, and you're going to go ahead and try a couple practice problems right now. And you can just use this space right here below to write your practice problems, right? And you can just kind of squeeze them in right across.